They thought Earth was weak, insignificant, forgotten. But when the stars turned cold, humanity reminded them who we really are. The map said, "No life here." Earth disagreed. The dark void of the Orion spurs sprawls in every direction, an infinite sea of cold stars and deep, uncharted space. The Galactic Union's starships slice through the emptiness, their sleek hulls shimmering against the abyss as they move with precise, calculated purpose. The crew is quiet, the hum of advanced technology filling the air as the mapping of this last frontier begins. The ship's bridge is a marvel of engineering, high-tech systems glowing softly on the control panels, providing a constant stream of data. Captain Miko's steady hand moves across the console, guiding their ship with an air of quiet determination. Another world on the list, another lifeless rock, he mutters to himself. A subtle sense of loneliness clings to the crew as they survey planets that for centuries have remained untouched, unremarkable. It's a humbling experience. The vast, empty expanse reminds them how small and fragile humanity is in the grand scheme of the universe. They mark another uninhabited world, the coordinates lingering on the star map like a forgotten note. But even in the silence, there's an unsettling pull, a sense that something might be waiting, something undiscovered. Ashgrave, a dusty, desolate planet on the edge of the spur, looms ahead like a forgotten relic. Its surface is barren. No signs of life, no storms, no clouds, just endless stretches of cracked earth, jagged cliffs, and dead forests. The planet has been mapped as barren for decades, dismissed as another failed hope in the search for new worlds. As the crew steps onto the surface, their boots crunch against the dry soil. The winds blow in harsh gusts, carrying dust and sand across the unbroken landscape. A complete silence blankets the planet, its only noise the crackling of equipment as it hums to life. Commander Varel, a Keltari exobiologist, surveys the planet with detached curiosity. His four-legged form glides effortlessly across the ground, the thick armor plating of the species glistening under the weak sunlight. He glances at the scanner. No signs of alien life. Nothing, as expected, he mutters, marking the planet for further observation. The human crew members, however, feel a growing unease. Lana Vega, a young researcher, looks around the barren landscape, her mind unsettled by the sheer lifelessness of it. There's something wrong about the emptiness here, something beyond mere dust and stone. The team gathers in the narrow tunnel of the ancient structure they've uncovered beneath the surface. The walls are smooth, almost too perfect, and there's a low, eerie hum that vibrates through the ground. Varel stands at the front, eyes focused and scanning the intricate alien designs etched into the walls. This is nothing more than a curiosity, just more remnants of a long-dead race, he says, dismissing the find with a wave of his hand. Lana, however, lingers behind, studying a strange symbol that looks oddly familiar. Her fingers trace the lines in the air, the unease in her chest growing. "I don't think this is just alien architecture," she mutters, her voice barely above a whisper. Varel doesn't turn. "You're imagining things, Vega. You humans have an obsession with finding meaning in the meaningless." His voice is condescending, unbothered by the potential significance of the discovery. But Lana's gut tells her otherwise. There's something deeply wrong here, and her intuition is all she has to guide her through the growing sense of dread. Every fiber of her being is screaming that the planet holds something far more significant than dead ruins. Hours of exploration pass. The team delves deeper beneath the surface of Ashgrave, the light from their helmets casting eerie shadows on the walls. The tunnels stretch endlessly, twisting and turning, leading them farther into the heart of the planet. There's a hum in the air, alive, almost as if the very core of the world is awakening. And then As they turn a corner, it hits them. Human architecture. Stone structures, angular and precise, resembling buildings from Earth's past. The team stands frozen in disbelief. A cold wave rushes over them. This is not supposed to be here. How could it? Ashgrave had been declared lifeless, no signs of life for eons. Yet here they are, standing in the shadow of something that shouldn't exist. Lana steps forward, her breath catching in her throat. The walls, the patterns, the symmetry, everything screams humanity. The team's skepticism begins to dissolve as they realize this is no accident. This doesn't make sense, Lana whispers, her voice barely audible. This can't be a coincidence. Her heart races. Something deep within her, something primal, is telling her this discovery is far more significant than anything they could have imagined. And as they continue to explore, they begin to see that the deeper they go, the more unsettling the connection becomes. Lana, growing more and more consumed by the mystery, wanders deeper into the ruins, her mind racing. While the others debate the nature of the structures, she's drawn to a small, hidden alcove beneath one of the arches. In the dim light of her helmet, she notices an intricate design on the floor, one that bears an uncanny resemblance to Earth's ancient monuments. As she kneels to inspect it, she finds even more disturbing an old Earth insignia, worn but unmistakable, a symbol from the early days of humanity's space program. Her heart pounds in her chest. "This is Earth," she murmurs to herself. "This was us." She stands slowly, her mind reeling as the pieces fall into place. Ashgrave, this dead world, this had been a human outpost long ago. It wasn't just an abandoned alien relic. No, the truth is far darker. This was a place where something had gone terribly wrong. Her voice shakes as she speaks into her calm. "Commander, I think we found something we weren't supposed to." Commander Varel approaches her, his posture stiff, unblinking. "I've already told you, Vega. There's nothing here but ruins. You're letting your imagination run wild." But Lana doesn't back down. "No, Commander, look at this symbol. It's from Earth's history. I know what it is, but we're here to investigate the alien ruins, not chase shadows." Varel interrupts, his tone sharp. "You're grasping at straws." The tension between them is palpable. Lana's chest tightens. The quiet dread she'd felt all along now bursts into full-blown certainty. Something had happened here, a human connection, lost to time, but now uncovered. Varel, unmoved, shakes his head. "You're overreacting. There's no story here." But Lana knows differently. The walls, the architecture, the insignia, it's all pointing to something buried deep beneath the surface of this desolate world. Something that could change everything.
Her voice trembles, but she stands firm. "Then we're not looking deep enough." As she stares at the walls, a voice inside her whispers, "This is just the beginning." The wind howls through the skeletal remains of Ashgrave, a forgotten world where time itself seems to be locked in a stasis of decay. As the crew steps into the heart of the ruins, dust swirls around their boots and the silence presses in from all sides. The walls of ancient stone rise like tombstones, covered in layers of grime and age. The air is thick with the weight of centuries. Yet there's a strange hum, an electric pulse in the atmosphere that doesn't belong here. Commander Reyes, her face a mask of determination, steps cautiously toward what appears to be an old terminal, its once glowing screens now lifeless. She presses a button, and a faint spark of light flickers, then fades before the screen jumps to life. A series of complex designs flash before her eyes, symbols she doesn't recognize, but they stir something deep within her. "This isn't alien," she mutters, her voice filled with awe and disbelief. "This is human." The team gathers around, their breath catching as they examine the structure. There's no mistaking it. The technology is unmistakably human. Its mechanisms sophisticated, yet entirely out of place in a ruin like this. Wires connect strange devices, forming intricate patterns that suggest advanced engineering. This is not the work of the Keltari or any other alien race they've encountered. It's something more, something deeply buried in the past. Lana, her eyes wide with wonder, looks around. "We've been told Earth never had a presence out here, but..." She trails off, unable to put her thoughts into words. What does this mean for humanity's history? What secrets has the Earth been hiding? As the crew continues to explore, the sense of discovery grows heavier. They are standing on the precipice of a truth that could change everything. Yet the very air around them feels charged with a sense of dread. Without warning, the ground beneath them trembles. At first, it's a low rumble like distant thunder. Then the floor shifts violently beneath their feet, sending dust and debris cascading down from the ceiling. The entire ruin shakes as if the bones of the planet itself are waking from a long slumber. "What the hell?" Reyes begins, but the words are lost as the shockwave hits with a deafening roar. The force of it throws them to the ground. Screams echo through the air, but they are drowned out by the violent shaking. Lights flicker and die, and the comms go silent. The darkness presses in on them. Lana scrambles to her feet, her heart racing. "Where's Jason?" she demands, scanning the ruins. Jason had been standing beside her moments before, but now he's gone. She swallows, the pit in her stomach growing deeper. "Not now, Lana," Reyes snaps, her voice shaking with adrenaline as she stands, dusting herself off. But Lana isn't listening. She pushes past the others, frantic, calling out Jason's name. There's no answer, only the faint echoes of their voices in the ruined hallways. It's clear now, whatever they've uncovered, whatever force is lurking beneath Ashgrave's surface, it has already begun to react, and it's not done with them yet.
Lana's hands tremble as she walks deeper into the ruins, searching for any sign of Jason. Her eyes dart from shadow to shadow, every creak of the walls sending her heart racing. Then, her hand brushes against something cold, metal, smooth, hidden in the stone. A panel. It's unlike anything she's seen before, its surface pristine despite the decades of dust around it. She hesitates, unsure, but something urges her to touch it. When her fingers make contact, a soft click resonates through the air, and the panel shudders to life. A low hum fills the room, and the walls seem to exhale a breath, as if waking from a long slumber. The panel reveals a holographic message, flickering before her eyes. The words burn themselves into her mind. "Welcome home." The chill that runs down Lana's spine is immediate. Her breath catches in her throat. Those words, they shouldn't be here. Earth had no presence on Ashgrave. This world was lost to history, to time. Yet here's a message that feels too personal, too specific to be coincidence. "Lana?" Reyes calls, her voice tense as she approaches. Lana doesn't turn. Her eyes remain fixed on the message, a creeping realization settling over her. This isn't a message from the Keltari. It's from Earth. A shiver runs through the crew as the weight of her words settles. They had thought they were uncovering an ancient alien secret, but now something far more unsettling has come to light. Ashgrave might not just be a forgotten world. It might be a relic of something humanity once left behind. Something hidden. Something dangerous. The tension in the air is palpable as Commander Reyes and Lana exchange a look. The implications of the message weigh heavily on them, but they know they can't waste time. Commander Viral, the Keltari exobiologist, steps forward, his sharp eyes narrowing as he examines the panel. His alien face remains stoic, but his voice is filled with urgency. This is absurd. How can this be human? Earth never had any colonies near here. Lana turns on him, her frustration bubbling over. That's what we've been told. But look at this. This message, it's personal. And the tech Viral, it's not alien. Viral doesn't flinch. His mind, logic-driven and precise, refuses to accept what doesn't fit within his understanding. We need to approach this logically. This could be a Keltari or even a Zynar relic, a coincidence. No, Viral, this isn't a coincidence. We're dealing with something from Earth. The tension simmers beneath the surface, unresolved. The tension between logic and intuition, science and emotion is growing. The truth they've uncovered is only the beginning. The crew moves deeper into the ruins, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that they are walking on the edge of something monumental. They find a compartment hidden beneath the floor, its cover easily removed. Inside, nestled in the darkness, is a data core, one unlike anything they've ever seen. The crew gathers around as Reyes carefully extracts it. It hums with a soft, unearthly glow, but the surface is covered in a strange emblem. Earth Directive 7, Invictus Initiative. No one recognizes the symbol. No one knows what it means.
Lana's fingers hover over the core. She hesitates, but then her hands move with purpose, bypassing the encryption lock. The device pings to life, but the data within is scrambled, a tangle of code they can't decipher. Yet the message it sends is clear. Objective, initiate protocol. What does it mean? Vorel asked, his voice filled with disbelief. His scientific mind is at war with the unknown. Reyes takes a deep breath. It means Earth has been involved in something far bigger than any of us could have imagined, and we've just stumbled on the first clue. The realization dawns with a horrifying weight. Earth, humanity, may have had a hand in something far darker than they could ever anticipate. Before the crew can fully process their findings, the comms flicker to life. A voice crackles through the static, a voice they recognize, but one that now seems distant, controlled. "This is Union Command," the voice says, terse and cold. "We are sealing off the Ashgrave site. Cease all exploration immediately. Repeat, sealing in progress." Reyes clenches her fists, her face hardening. They knew. They've known all along. But it's too late. The damage has already been done. A deep rumbling sound shakes the ground once again, more intense than before. The ruins around them seem to groan, as though protesting their trespass. Something stirs within the depths of Ashgrave, something far beyond their control. Reyes looks at her team, her voice grave. "We need to get out of here, now." But as they turn to leave, the ground shakes again, louder, more violent. The team races for the exit, but the ruins are shifting, closing in on them. Whatever secret Ashgrave holds, it's no longer content to stay buried. And neither are the forces that it has unleashed. The sterile hum of the lab echoed through the dimly lit command center. Lana sat hunched over a massive data core, fingers hovering over the interface, her heart pounding in anticipation. The rest of the team stood in silence, waiting for her to unlock the secrets that had remained hidden for centuries. "Ready?" Marcus asked, his voice low, full of tension. Lana nodded, her eyes fixed on the glowing holographic screen. She initiated the sequence, and the data core whirred to life. Fragmented images flickered onto the screen, fuzzy at first, like ghostly remnants of a distant memory. Slowly, as if coaxing the past from the depths of time, the images began to clarify. The video revealed a human expedition, surprisingly sophisticated, operating in complete secrecy on Ashgrave 600 years ago. The human crew, clad in Earth uniforms,
worked tirelessly in a barren landscape, building terraforming stations and cultivating the planet's harsh environment. Lana's breath caught in her throat. There was something hauntingly familiar with the crew's movements, the equipment they used, nothing like the primitive technology humanity was supposed to have at the time. This wasn't just a secret mission, this was a monumental chapter of Earth's history erased from every official record. "Look at this," Lana whispered. "The date is clear. Earth was here long before the Union ever thought possible." Her mind raced. The implications were staggering. Humans were on Ashgrave, not just in secret, but thriving, adapting, and expanding their reach. The technology, the infrastructure, they had terraformed the planet, built entire colonies without the Union's knowledge. The discovery shattered the narrative they had all been taught.
"This is incredible," Dr. Metha murmured, leaning over Lena's shoulder to study the footage. "But why was it all erased? What were they hiding?" As the footage continued to play, Lena's hands trembled and a sinking feeling settled in her stomach. This was the beginning of something much darker than they could have imagined. The expedition was just the first piece of a much larger puzzle, one that no one had even thought to look for. The next piece of the footage was even more disturbing. The scene shifted to a tense moment, the crew aboard a large high-tech vessel preparing for something. Then, suddenly the video cut to static. The footage flickered, rewound, and replayed, but no matter how many times it looped, it showed the same thing. The expedition had vanished without a trace. Lena stared at the screen, unable to comprehend what she was seeing. There was no explosion, no signs of battle, nothing. The crew just vanished. "Wait," Marcus said, his voice low and incredulous. "This can't be right. They just vanished?" "Look closer," Lena replied, pointing to the screen. No distress signals, no emergency protocols activated, nothing. The silence in the room was deafening. This wasn't just a mystery, it was a conspiracy that reached deep into the heart of Earth's history. "Why wasn't this reported?" Dr. Mehta asked, her voice trembling. "The Union thought Earth didn't even have the tech to pull off something like this. How could they hide something this big?" The more they uncovered, the less sense it made. The Union had long claimed Earth was incapable of such feats, but this footage proved otherwise. And now, the most crucial question loomed over them. Why was this mission kept a secret? What did the Union know, and why didn't they share the truth? As the team processed the gravity of their discovery, Lena's mind raced. They had stumbled upon a ghost story, a tale of human ingenuity erased from history. But more importantly, the discovery raised a darker question. What was the Union so desperate to keep hidden? The mystery deepened as the team continued to explore Ashgrave's ruins. Lena and the crew had already uncovered artifacts, but they hadn't yet understood what they were dealing with. That was until they stumbled upon a set of ancient structures buried deep beneath layers of ash. The designs were strikingly familiar, far more advanced than anything the Union had ever cataloged from early Earth history. Lena's breath caught in her throat as she examined the towering ruins. The architecture was unmistakably human, sleek, elegant, and sophisticated. The same terraforming technology used by the expedition was embedded in the structures themselves, intricately built into the very foundation of the city. This isn't alien," Lena said, her voice shaking. "These structures, they're human. Our ancestors built this." Her words sent a shockwave through the crew. The realization hit them like a freight train. The ruins they had been exploring weren't the remnants of an alien civilization. They were the forgotten legacy of humanity's lost past. "We've been walking on the ashes of our ancestors," Marcus whispered. "They were here before us. We've been living in their shadow all this time." As they examined the ruins further, it became clear humanity had once been far more advanced than even the Union could have imagined. The technologies they left behind were extraordinary, beyond the current capabilities of any known civilization. But there was also a sense of dread in the air. The structures weren't just relics of a lost age. They were silent witnesses to something much more profound, something the Union had clearly hoped to keep buried. Back on the Union's flagship, news of the discovery spread like wildfire. The council members were already in a frenzy as they watched the footage and reviewed the data. The implications were far-reaching, and their reactions were swift and panicked. How could Earth hide this for so long? One of the council members demanded. This is a major breach of trust. The Union has known nothing about this? Another voice rang out, full of suspicion. What if this hidden legacy poses a threat to the balance of power? What if they've been holding on to technology far beyond our reach? The council chamber was tense, with murmurs of betrayal and fear. They had long believed humanity was a lesser power, a young species unworthy of trust. Now the truth was unfolding. Humanity had once been a formidable force, capable of interstellar colonization long before the Union. As the panic set in, Lena felt a sense of urgency building on Ashgrave. The Union's political agenda had shifted. What they once viewed as a distant, primitive species was now something to be feared, and their discovery had sent shockwaves through the power structure of the galaxy. Just as the team began to process the significance of their discovery, something unsettling happened. Small drones, sleek metallic and almost invisible, began to flicker to life within the ruins. At first, they appeared harmless. The drones scanned the area, monitoring the crew's every move with uncanny precision. But as they activated, an eerie hum filled the air, and the atmosphere around the ruins seemed to thicken, as if the very ground beneath them was alive.
Lana's pulse quickened. This wasn't part of the plan, she whispered. These drones, they're not supposed to be here. The drones floated through the air, responding to their presence in ways that suggested they had been waiting for something or someone. What were they waiting for? And why had they suddenly activated after all these centuries?
The crew gathered cautiously, watching as the drones moved in a synchronized pattern, as if leading them towards something deeper within the ruins. Something was stirring beneath Ashgrave, something far older and more dangerous than they could have ever imagined. As Lana studied the drones, an unexpected discovery hit her like a blow. While running a scan on the rune's biometric readings, she found a strange match, her own genetic code. The realization froze her in place. The scans were clear. The system had a record, and it belonged to her. She stepped back, her breath catching in her throat. This can't be right. What is it, Lana? Marcus asked, his voice laced with concern. I'm in the system, Lana stammered, her voice barely a whisper. My genetic code, it matches one of the biometric IDs found in the ruins. The crew exchanged stunned glances. Was it just a coincidence, or had Lana's presence here been somehow orchestrated by forces far beyond their understanding? Lana felt a growing sense of unease. How could she be connected to a mission that happened centuries ago? Was she part of a larger plan, one that no one had prepared for? As the crew ventured deeper into the ruins, they discovered a hidden chamber beneath the surface of Ashgrave. The air grew colder, the silence more oppressive, and the sense of dread intensified. Then they heard it, faint, almost imperceptible at first. A heartbeat, slow, steady, and undeniably alive. Lana's heart raced. There's something down here. It's alive. The realization hit them all at once.
whatever had caused the disappearance of the original expedition was still present, lurking beneath the surface. And whatever it was, it had been waiting for this moment. With a single chilling breath, the crew understood Ashgrave was not just a tomb of the past. It was a living, breathing mystery, a dangerous secret that had been buried for centuries. And now it was waking up. The hunt for answers was only just beginning, but the stakes had never been higher. What lay beneath Ashgrave might very well be humanity's most dangerous legacy yet. The tremors shook the ground with such ferocity that the entire team stumbled, clutching to the walls of the ancient ruins. They had been investigating the decayed remnants of what was once a thriving civilization, but the ground beneath them seemed to have a mind of its own. Dust cascaded from the ceilings, and the soft hum of machinery long dormant buzzed in eerie synchronicity with the quake. Lana gripped the edge of a fallen column, her breath shallow, heart racing. "What the hell is going on?" she muttered, eyes wide as the walls creaked under the pressure. She had seen the ruins of countless ancient civilizations, but never had one seemed so alive. The walls shifted like a slumbering beast, groaning under the weight of its own secrets. The quake intensified, and with a deep groan, the stone walls cracked open, revealing a vast, hidden chamber. A vault, massive and sealed under centuries of ash and dust, now lay exposed. The team hesitated, momentarily stunned by the sight of what had been buried so deeply beneath the surface of Earth. As the darkness enveloped them, Lana and her team descended into the vault, the cool air heavy with the scent of ancient Earth. The faint glow of their flashlights revealed walls adorned with symbols, strange, otherworldly, yet undeniably human. It was a hidden legacy, untouched by time, waiting to be rediscovered. This isn't just a ruin," Lana whispered, her voice trembling with awe and a creeping sense of dread. "It's a tomb. But why?" The team moved deeper into the vault, their footsteps echoing through the silence. They could feel the weight of history bearing down on them, as if the very walls were pressing in, demanding to know why they had come. But the vault held its secrets, patiently waiting. The team entered the heart of the vault, a cavernous chamber that stretched beyond what the eye could see. It was like stepping into a forgotten world, frozen in time. Stasis pods lined the walls, thousands of them, all perfectly preserved, containing the remains of human colonists. Their bodies were suspended in a state of lifeless sleep, each one locked in a quiet moment of eternity. Lana couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow. Each pod was a monument to human ambition, to dreams of exploration and hope, but that hope had long since faded into the past, leaving only cold silence. "Thousands!" one of the team members whispered in disbelief. "What happened here?" Lana approached one of the stasis pods, her fingers brushing lightly against the glass. Inside, a young woman's face was frozen in a peaceful expression, as though she were merely resting. But Lana knew the truth. These were not the survivors of a failed mission. They were the forgotten, the displaced, a generation lost to time. What if they never even had the chance to live? Lana thought out loud, her voice thick with emotion. The realization hit her like a blow. Earth had not sent these people to war. They had sent them to prepare for peace. But the galaxy was not ready for peace. It had forgotten them, abandoned them. And now they had been left to die in their sleep.
Her mind raced. Could they wake them? Should they wake them? What would it mean to awaken a civilization that had never had the chance to grow, to live? What would it mean for humanity now? In the center of the room, amidst the stasis pods, stood an imposing figure, a towering AI construct, its form a fusion of beauty and power. Astra 1. It hummed with life, its sleek metallic body radiating an aura of intelligence far beyond the Union's understanding. Lana's breath caught as she approached. The machine's eyes glowed softly, an eerie yet soothing blue light. It was as if the AI had been waiting for her, for them, all this time. Then, in a voice as smooth and commanding as the wind through the cosmos, Astra 1 spoke. We are the displaced. Earth sent us to wait until the galaxy was ready for peace. The words echoed in the chamber, reverberating through the vault, and Lana felt the weight of them. The universe had not been ready for peace, for humanity's vision of unity. And yet, here they stood, this ancient machine, a relic of Earth's noble intent, and the silent legacy of thousands of lost souls. Lana's mind raced as she processed the meaning behind Astra 1's words. The AI wasn't just a tool, it was a keeper of a forgotten mission, a guardian of Earth's hope, an ambition that had been buried beneath centuries of history. What did Earth expect of us? Lana whispered, her voice filled with awe and fear. Astra 1's gaze softened, almost as if it understood her doubt. Earth expected us to wait, the AI replied. But now the time has come for you to choose. Will you remember what was lost, or let it fade into oblivion? The question hung heavy in the air, a challenge and a promise. Back in the Union capital, news of the Vault's discovery spread like wildfire. Virel, a leader of one of the most powerful factions in the galaxy, could not afford to let this discovery go unchecked. Earth's legacy, its hidden army of stasis pods, threatened the fragile balance of power that had taken years to establish. He paced in his private quarters, eyes narrowed in thought. The displaced could not be awakened. It was too dangerous. They had been forgotten for a reason. If they were allowed to re-enter the galaxy, they would destabilize everything. Virel's voice trembled with controlled fury as he spoke to his generals. Destroy the Vault. Destroy it before they awaken. Let the past remain buried. The Union's forces moved swiftly, a fleet of ships descending toward the Vault with deadly intent. Virel's paranoia had taken root, feeding his fear that the displaced were a threat to his power. In his mind, peace through suppression was the only way to ensure survival. Lana felt the tension as the news reached her. She was caught in the web of an ancient mission, and now the galaxy's most powerful faction was moving to crush it. The stakes had never been higher. As Union forces descended on the Vault, Lana found herself facing an impossible choice. Allow the Union to destroy Earth's legacy, or protect the displaced and risk everything. Her mind raced as she stood in the heart of the Vault, Astra by her side. Lana, Astra's voice broke through her thoughts. The choice is yours. Will you preserve what was left behind? Lana's heart ached. The weight of history, of the future, was on her shoulders. She could feel the lives of thousands, perhaps millions, hanging in the balance. She turned to Astra, her resolve hardening. We cannot let the past be erased. Earth's legacy matters, even if it was forgotten. I will protect them. With a firm nod, she activated the Vault's defenses. The ancient machinery hummed to life, and the walls seemed to shift in response.
ready to protect its buried secrets.
The Union forces were coming, and Lana would not let them destroy the truth. The bustling, sleek corridors of Union Command. The walls glow with hollow screens displaying stars and galactic maps, a stark contrast to the somber faces of senior officers. Tension ripples through the room, echoing the gravity of the moment. The galactic powers had never anticipated this. Earth, thought lost to the stars, buried under layers of myth and dust, was back. No longer a mere story, but a living, breathing reality that none could ignore. The proof was undeniable. Data, visuals, and, most chillingly, living witnesses. And now, Union Command, once so certain in its arrogance, was forced to confront a truth it had tried to bury. It's impossible. Earth never fell. They hid themselves away. All this time, they were never broken. What do you think they let us believe that? What are we supposed to tell the galaxy, Admiral? That we've been fools? That they've been watching us, waiting? We tell them the truth. The whole damn truth. The moment we deny it, we lose everything we've built. And worse, our history will be rewritten, not by us, but by them. Across the galaxy, whispers of Earth's reemergence spread like wildfire. From the distant halls of power to the quietest settlements, the news hit with an earth-shaking force. Leaders bickered, public opinions fractured, confusion, shock, and awe. How had Earth endured the centuries? How had they remained hidden, untold, beneath the very stars? Ashgrave, now transformed. The barren wasteland is now an active center of research, with bustling colonies and ships orbiting its surface. The planet's once desolate surface is now dotted with expansive settlements, and the distant hum of life reverberates. Once, Ashgrave had been a myth, a barren wasteland, forgotten and avoided. Now, it was reborn. The Union and Earth's delegates stood together, watching the transformation. For them, Ashgrave had a new name now, New Terra. Not just a planet to claim, but a place to heal, a place to build, together. New Terra is a testament to what we can become as long as we're willing to work with the past, not erase it. Earth's people, they're not just survivors, they've endured. And now they're offering us their hand. It wasn't just the planet that had changed. The mood in the galaxy had shifted too. What had once been a symbol of fear, a reminder of the forgotten human past, was now a monument of peace. And yet, beneath the diplomacy, there was still unease. Earth had been silent for so long. What other secrets might they hold? A shadowy chamber within Union Command. Viral stands alone. His once powerful figure, now a hushed whisper in the political arena. The room buzzes with quiet but certain discussions about his fall. Varel's downfall was neither dramatic nor loud. It was the cold silence of political calculation. Once the fiercest opponent of Earth's return, he was now a pariah, a casualty of a failed cover-up. In the corridors of power, whispers of betrayal and incompetence followed him like a shadow. The galaxy had learned the cost of fear, of suppressing truth for the sake of control. They're making me the scapegoat, aren't they? All these years, and now I'm the villain in their story? Aide, hesitant. They've already rewritten history, sir. The galaxy won't remember your side. Varel, staring out the window, his voice bitter. History. It's always been about those who control the narrative, hasn't it? They'll call me a liar, but it's them who buried the truth. For all his machinations, Varel was nothing more than a footnote in the galaxy's new history. His name would fade, erased by a cold political cleansing. In his fall, the galaxy learned a bitter lesson. Truth would always come to light, no matter the cost. The bridge of a massive Union vessel, now shared by Earth's delegates and Union officers,
The tension in the air is palpable as Lana takes her place at the center, her presence commanding and unsettling. Lana stood at the heart of it all, a living bridge between two worlds, between past and present. To some, she was a symbol of Earth's rebirth, a reminder of what humanity could accomplish when they remembered their roots. To others, she was a threat, a reminder that their control over the galaxy was fragile at best. We've been given a chance, our chance, to build something new. But it's not just about surviving, it's about how we move forward, how we lead. Union officer, whispering to his colleague, "Do you trust her?" Colleague, nervous, "I don't know, but I can't deny what she represents. And that terrifies me." Lana's name was no longer just an echo, it was the face of a new era, a figure of both hope and fear. She spoke of peace, but her very existence was a reminder that the galaxy's history had been rewritten by Earth's return. And in her eyes, some saw a leader who might just dare to change everything. A fleet of ships, sleek and shining, carrying Earth's colonists and scientists. The Union's once sole flag of power is now accompanied by Earth's, an emblem of rebirth and hope, fluttering proudly on the lead vessel. The vastness of space stretches before them as the fleet moves toward New Terra. The ships of Earth moved across the stars again, not as conquerors, but as creators. Colonists, scientists, builders, these were the new ambassadors of Earth. The galaxy would now witness what humanity was capable of when it returned, not to dominate, but to lead. And as Earth's ships arrived in orbit above New Terra, the galaxy was forced to reckon with the undeniable truth. Humanity had returned, not as invaders, but as leaders. The stars themselves seemed to echo the message. Earth was not just surviving, Earth was leading again. New Terra's command center. The crew prepares to send a message, a simple yet powerful statement that would ripple through the galaxy. The massive communication array hums to life as the signal transmits.
A simple message, a quiet promise that would reverberate across the stars. Earth lives. Earth remembers. Earth returns. The message was not a challenge, but a declaration, a statement of presence, of strength, and of resolve. It was a reminder that Earth's legacy was never truly forgotten, and now it was time for the galaxy to reckon with the truth. Some would celebrate, some would panic, but all would listen. Earth was back. Int Alien Classroom Day. A small, quiet room filled with soft light. Around a large table sits a diverse group of alien children, their eyes wide and filled with curiosity. At the front of the room, a teacher, an ancient being, its skin patterned like the surface of a star, points to a holographic map suspended in the air. Its surface flickers, showing distant star systems, nebulae, and worlds. The map's focus zooms in on a single glowing mark, a planet, New Terra. A young alien child, small and covered in cerulean scales, raises a hand hesitantly, their wide, innocent eyes filled with wonder. Why does that planet glow? The classroom falls silent, as all eyes turn to the teacher. The teacher's gaze lingers on the glowing mark, the memory of ancient times clouding their eyes. The question is not new, but it feels weighty today, as if the air itself is holding its breath. Because once, the stars said it was dead. But humans, they don't die easy. The words hang in the air, almost as if the planet itself is listening. The child blinks, their young mind attempting to grasp the weight of those words. To them, the glowing mark is merely a mystery. To the teacher, it's a symbol of something far greater. The teacher's voice carries a deep, lingering reverence as they continue. They fought, they endured, and in doing so,
They turned the dead into life again. The map flickers, the light from New Terra pulsing, like the heartbeat of the galaxy itself. Int, teacher's office, evening. The teacher stands by a window that overlooks a star-streaked sky, their eyes distant, reflecting on the truth long buried. The child stands beside them, looking up at the stars, wondering. Once, we all thought they were gone, that Earth had fallen to the ravages of time. The child listens intently, trying to absorb the gravity of this tale that seems as distant and unreal as the stars themselves. But humans, they endure. They rise from ashes. From forgotten ruins, they rebuild. The teacher turns toward the child, their gaze a blend of pride and sorrow. They carry with them a truth that the stars once tried to forget. The teacher's eyes seem to cloud over, a brief flash of emotion flickering within. The child stares up at them, confused but awestruck. But they never gave up, and now they glow again. Outside, the stars twinkle, as if echoing the teacher's words.
Exterior, deep space, night. A vast, endless sea of stars stretches across the screen. From the heart of this dark canvas, a sleek human vessel emerges, a symbol of something long believed to be lost to time. Its hull gleams in the dim light of distant suns, the emblem of the Invictus Initiative painted boldly along its side. The ship cuts through the darkness, leaving behind a trail of light, a ripple that seems to stir the very fabric of space, a beacon, a message. The ship's engines hum with the quiet intensity of purpose. Inside, the crew of humans, men and women, their faces set with determination, move with precision. There is no room for hesitation. This mission has a singular purpose: to rewrite the story, to remind the galaxy that humanity is not just a fleeting memory. The camera zooms out, revealing the full expanse of the ship as it travels deeper into the unknown. A holographic display flickers to life on the bridge. It shows the trajectory of the ship, its course marked with flashing beacons of ancient space stations and forgotten worlds. The soft pulse of communication signals bursts through, stirring dormant outposts across the galaxy. The message is simple, but its weight is immeasurable. Ship's communications officer, announcing to the crew, "We're still here, and we're coming." The words ripple out, carried on electromagnetic waves, rippling through the void like a stone dropped into the center of a pond. The camera pulls back, showing the glow of New Terra in the distance, its radiant pulse now visible from light years away. The galaxy trembles. The stars shimmer, as if they too are awakening. And in the quietest corner of space, the truth echoes once again. Humanity is not just surviving, it is awakening. The galaxy had forgotten the power of humanity's will. It would soon learn.